Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday to show you a fun new project. So this is the first Facebook Live I have done in 2 weeks, and I've missed you guys so much. So thank you, everybody, for all of your text messages and cards and well wishes. Still not up to par, but I don't want to miss any more Facebook Lives. So I have my chair beside me, so as soon as we get crafting, I am going to sit because I can't stand for very long still. But I am so happy to be here with you guys tonight. And tonight's card is actually the one that I had prepped for 2 weeks ago to do when I just got hit. So hopefully I still remember how to put the card together. It's actually pretty easy. I like to try to do quick and easy cards for you guys. But a couple things before we get started. Stampin' Up! Has a sale going on right now. It's 10% off of all cardstock, 15% off the inks, and 20% off selected dies. So it's pretty much everything out of the occasion catalog. And it goes, not occasion, from the big catalog, and it goes until the 18th. So I know I sent an email about it yesterday, but I don't want anybody to forget about the special. But as soon as I point you down, I'll show you the little flyer. So hello, Heather, Anna, Marie, and Valerie. Hello, ladies. So I'm going to go ahead and point you down just so I can go over the little flyer with you guys. So here's the flyer that I sent out. And there's an attachment in the email that I sent that you can click on and it will pull this up. So you get 10% off all your cardstock, 15% off your inks, and 20% off your dies. And if you flip through the page, it tells you exactly what's included. I did do my order this morning. I went through all my cardstock to see which colors that I needed. So I definitely stocked up and took advantage of this. It is definitely, as long as I've been in, I cannot remember a sale being on cardstock. So this is definitely well worth looking through and seeing if you need anything. So I just didn't want to forget to touch base on that. So let me bring in today's card. I'm actually going to sit first. Okay, I'm going to make sure we are on live on my iPad, and there it is. So today's card, this is what I created. This was my first one. There's actually 3 different versions of this, and I didn't know which one I liked better. So we're going to be making something similar to this one. So I used the Love of Leaves stamp set and matching dies, and I cut out 2 each of the dies, and I created a pretty kind of wreath. I don't know what it's called. And then I got thinking, oh, why don't I try to use some designer series paper? So I used some designer series paper, and I think this one, the shapes of the leaves just got lost a little bit. Not that I don't like it. I think they just got lost. You can't see all of the pretty leaves. And then I decided, well, let's do a few less leaves and see how that comes out. And I actually think I liked this one a million times better. This one was definitely pretty, but I got thinking, why put all of these leaves on one when we could cut the same and make 2 cards? So this is actually what we're going to be playing with and making today. So let me bring in the designer series paper. So this is, let's see, it is called Beauty of the Earth designer series paper. So this is actually what I used to cut out these original leaves, and I think it was just a little too much. Still very pretty, but I used all of the backings for the background designer series paper, and I stamped the leaves on cardstock. Okay, so there's the paper. Let me bring in the leaves. So here is the Love of Leaves stamp set. And I really like these dies, and actually these dies might be on the sale that's right now. So they come as 2. They're 2 different dies. I'll pull it apart. So this one cuts the leaf out, and this one does the veining on the inside of the leaf. But I didn't want to run it twice through the embossing machine, so I just put some Scotch tape on the back of it and taped them together. So when I stamped the leaves, I just ran it through one time and it gave the vines or the inside of the leaves, and it cut it out at the same time. So I actually did that for all of them. So every single one of them is taped together, and it didn't affect the die at all. You can actually probably see that it's a little dirty right there from running back and forth. But I felt that was the best way to use these dies instead of getting frustrated that they were all moving around. So that's just a little tidbit on using the set. And then I wanted to use Thankful. We literally have so much to be thankful for in life. And I can't be thankful enough for my family and friends for helping me through this crazy last couple weeks. So I brought in the time of giving, and I wanted to use this Thankful. So that's this, the stamp set we're using as well. Okay, so hopefully we can get through all of these. First, I'm going to just bring in some scraps. I have scrap of Basic Whites. I have some scrap of Old Olive, Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, and Bumblebee. So this is what I'm going to use to just stamp my leaves on. And I just wanted to show you quickly how I did it. So I'm going to open up the Cinnamon Cider. And it really doesn't matter what leaf you use on what color. I just kind of guessed and played. So I'm just going to stamp these. Hello, Valerie. And yes, thank you, Dawn. I didn't want to miss any more. I missed you guys. So I'm stamping 2 of each of them. And if you're going to make multiples of these cards, definitely stamp 5, 6, 10, 12 of them and run them all at the same time. And it will just make it easier instead of doing one card at a time. I love doing an assembly line. So this is the Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight cardstock. So all of my ink I am doing on the same color cardstock. So whatever ink you use, even if you don't want to use the same color as I am, just do tone on tone. Sometimes I think that is the best. So this is Bumblebee, and I wanted the great big one in Bumblebee. So I'm stamping them twice, and I'm just stamping them randomly on the paper. It doesn't even have to be anything specific because we're going to cut them out. But because of the wonderful Facebook Live, they might already be cut out. So we are just going to stamp. And now I have extra pieces to make more of these cards. And I really liked this one because I thought it looked like a heart. So you could definitely cut this out with the die and then cut that little tip off. And it could be a fun heart. So that is in Early Espresso. And the last one is going to be an Old Olive. So the only one I made sure was the right color was the leaf. And I thought the leaves need to be in green. So Old Olive on Old Olive cardstock. So there are all of our pieces. So I have the Old Olive, I have Early Espresso, I have Cinnamon Cider, Misty Moonlight, and Bumblebee. So those are the colors that we're going to be playing with. And because we are in a Facebook Live, all of these have gotten cut out already for us. So let me bring in all of our pieces. So this one is going to be Misty Moonlight cardstock. And I've cut it 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And I do have a piece of our Basic White, and that's going to go on the inside. And this measures 4 by 5 1/4. But for our focal pieces, I have a piece of Basic White, and this measures, hold on, let me get my ruler. I did write it in the description, and I knew I was going to forget. So let's bring in my handy dandy ruler. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, and our designer series paper is 4.5 by 3 1/4. I should have written it down on a little sticky note, but I didn't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by gluing this down. Usually everything's 1/4 of an inch smaller, but this one is a 1/2 inch smaller. So I'm going to set that in the center. There we go. And I didn't use any dimensionals on this because we're layering kind of so many pieces of our cardstock together that I didn't want it to be too bulky. So I didn't use any dimensionals. I just glued everything down. And you can position these kind of however you want. There is no right or wrong way to position these. I just kind of put them around, and then I took my Thankful and I just laid it over the top just to make sure it was going to cover everything. And it kind of does. So now I am just going to move these off and start gluing. And you don't need a whole lot of glue because all of these pieces are getting glue on them and it will hold each other down. But I thought it was just such a pretty fall color. We're finally getting to have some fall weather here. It's actually pretty chilly in the mornings. The days are still beautiful. So there's that one. And our last piece. And I changed up the cardstock on each one of these to be a different focal color of our leaves. And I'm just going to glue that down. And while that dries, it probably will need an extra second. So I just wanted to show you why I didn't put dimensionals on, because it is a little bit thicker in the center, and especially with the bow that's on there, I didn't want it to be extra postage if you mailed it. So while that's drying, let's grab our Misty Moonlight. Give this a good crease. And I love our basic white and our blue together. I think those colors are so sharp. I'm going to lay that right in the center. And there we go. And then I'm going to open this up and then have our piece for the inside so you can write your sentiment on. And I also do like, if you have a white gel marker or a white gel pen, I really do like writing with that on our card, our dark cardstock. But there you go. And then I just want to bring in a little bit of our ribbon and tie a bow. So I do little bunny ears. And I'm going to cross them over. Then I just push the one side in. Well, maybe. There we go. And then I pull this guy down to get the size that I want. There we go. Perfection. Give it a little haircut. And grab a mini glue dots, which, I might not, oh, I do. I have some right beside me. Good thing I'm still organized. I actually have not been in the studio at all. I know that's pretty crazy to say out loud, but I have not felt good enough to come out here. So everything should be the way I left it. Okay, so there's our first one, and this is Misty Moonlight cardstock. And then let's bring in a piece of Bumblebee. So you guys have to tell me which one you like the best. I actually am not 100% sure which one is going to be my favorite yet. I like them all so far. Anna, so there was 120 bows that I did in the drawing a couple weeks ago. I did message everybody, so I think I have one bolt of ribbon left to mail out. They haven't messaged me their address, but there was 120 ribbons. And we used 20 of them in class for a card class. And then the other 100 I put in some cards. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I didn't cut them all at once, I won't lie. I did like 5 here, 10 here. It wasn't an all sitting at once doing it. So this is all the same designer series paper that I used out of that same batch, and it's called Beauty of the Earth designer series paper. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. And you can definitely change these leaves up and decorate your card any way you want. But do remember, if you're making more than one, stamp all of your images and then cut them out at once, and it'll just make things go a lot quicker for you. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. Thank you, Renee. Yes, I'm getting there. I actually just got my MRI results today, and not the greatest. So we'll see what physical therapy and stuff has in store for me. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It could have been a lot worse. My car is not so good, but that's a whole nother subject for a different day. Okay, now I've already tied a couple of these bows for the rest of these cards. So there you go. Super quick and super fun, and definitely not a hard card to make, and it will give whoever you're sending this to a huge smile on your face, on their face. So there we go. So there is Bumblebee, and there's your Misty Moonlight, and then our original one is Early Espresso. Okay, so we have a couple more to do. Oh, it looks like we have one left. So this one is another Night of Navy. Apparently, I really liked the Night of Navy, but I actually think I was doing it because, I'm sorry, not Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight. I think it was because of the Designer Series paper. I think that's why I picked this color again. But they're so fun and so pretty, and you could really use either side of the Designer Series paper as well. That's the one nice thing about Stampin' Up's paper, is both sides are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, fold this in half. And hello, Carol. Nice to see you on. And I didn't want to do another week without doing a Facebook Live. I've missed you guys. I've missed being in my studio. It is crazy. I literally, since the day the doors opened, I don't think I've ever missed a day of being out here. And I've missed almost 2 weeks of being out here. Stephen and I came out a little bit ago just for a little bit. I can't spend much time on my feet. So I get like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But we're working on it. And I can't remember who said, but the older you get, the harder it is to recover. And you are absolutely correct. Okay. Oh, I love the Bumblebee and the blue together. So pretty. There we go. Look how fast and easy these cards come together. And if you have any leaf set, I'm pretty sure any leaf set would work for this. I know there's a new one in this new mini catalog, but this is actually from the annual catalog, and it is 20% off right now. So if you don't have a leaf set, I would definitely recommend getting this. And there's a lot of glue on there, so you definitely want to give it a second to adhere before you do anything else with it. Grab a mini glue dots. So there you go. Super thankful, and I think all of us are super thankful for something or another. And I'm super thankful that I am able to come out and do the Facebook Live with you guys. So here are the cards. So we have Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee, and then I have Early Espresso. Hopefully you guys can see all those. And then these are the two that I did with this is the one that I did with the Designer Series paper. It's still very cute, but I think the leaves and the design of the leaves gets a little hidden because it's a little busy. And then this is my original one that I had come up with 2 weeks ago to do. And instead of doing the flowers or the leaves just on top, I cut two and did leaves on top and bottom. So either way, you guys do these cards are absolutely cute. I do recommend, if you are going to use the Very Vanilla, use one of our brown ribbons. I think brown and Very Vanilla kind of flow together. And then the whites flowed together as well. So there you go. Those are your cards for tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a pretty quick Facebook Live, but I have a heating pad and a recliner to get back to. So I will be back on Thursday. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget about that amazing sale that's going on right now. 10% off cardstock, 15% off ink, and 20% off dies out of the large catalog. And if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. My phone is really all I have, so it is beside me 24/7. So if you need anything, let me know. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.